back two people at the two sides in front of the KK.
I will confuse them to come to the market.
Congratulations to the media. You have done incredible work.
In earnest, it will show you what it does.
The Senate observed that PPP has consistently engaged in underhanding.
Position, you don't
when your brother is producing something and you patronizing your brother.
Listen to Planet 101.1 FM News at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. with our news in special English at 2:30 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Planet Radio 101.1 FM, revolving around you.
It's the news at noon. In the news, President Bola Tinubu stops electricity tariff hike, insists on subsidy. Senate summons Managing Director of Nigerian gas marketing company Justin Ezeala over purchase agreement. Akwa Ibom State Government adopts draft of recurrent and capital estimates for 2024 budget as Governor Umo Eno resolves to pay civil servant double salary in December for Christmas break. On a foreign scene, Israel reopens road for Gazans to move south. And sport, Denver Nuggets come from behind to beat Golden State Warriors in basketball game. Details coming up shortly. Good afternoon and welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. I am Rachel David White. First, in the news this afternoon, President Bola Tinubu has stopped the implementation of a hike in electricity tariff and insisted that subsidy be paid on power consumed nationwide. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu stated that the federal government would investigate the legality of the 5-year license extension given to privatized power distribution and generation companies, stressing that the operating licenses of the firms would have expired on October 31st, 2023. The minister, who spoke at a press briefing in Abuja, further stated that he would sack any non-performing chief executive and agencies under the power ministry. He noted that the non-implementation of this was actually causing a liquidity crisis in the sector, but stressed that the president had refused to allow a raise in electricity rate. Away from that, the Minister of State, Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Garanyo, has said that the federal government will collaborate with the Cross River State government to improve food production and security. The minister also urged the Cross River Basin Development Authority to work with stakeholders through the expansion of more irrigable lands to boost food production. This was made known in a statement by the ministry's director and press public relations unit, Fumi Imetian. The minister, while addressing the need for adequate food production, added that the move was in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu to get Nigerians out of hunger and poverty. He further stressed his determination to ensure the active participation of staff and partners of the water resources sector towards the success of Tinubu's food security agenda, adding that everyone must be proactive, innovative, and dedicated to making positive impact in the lives of all Nigerians. From the red chambers, the Senate has summoned the managing director of Nigerian gas marketing company, Ezeala, over a gas sales purchase agreement, pricing, and various companies and non-compliance with the process in the auto-compressed natural gas project with NIPCO Gas. The Senate, through its Committee on Gas, requested the details of gas sales and purchase agreement with gas companies. The committee, chaired by Senator Jaribe, issued the summons after a closed-door session with committee members at the National Assembly. The committee, in its resolutions at the end of the meeting, also expressed its satisfaction with the decision of Group Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, to prevent the National Assembly committees from overseeing subsidiaries of NNPCL. The committee further demanded financial records on the auto CNG project with NIPCO, where NNPC Gas Marketing Limited has approved an investment of 30 billion naira. On security matters, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetekun, has appointed a new Commissioner of Police CP in Rivers State, Olatunji Disu. IGP Egbetekun has also appointed 7 police officers to lead different commands as part of the ongoing measures towards strengthening security, tackling violent crimes, and enhancing optimal coordination of police operations across Nigeria. IGP Boss charged the new CPs to demonstrate professionalism, competence in their new offices they have been assigned to lead across the country. Disu's new appointment comes barely 7 months after he was promoted alongside 32 others from the rank of Deputy Commissioner of Police to Commissioner of Police, and was subsequently appointed by the IGP as his principal staff, leading and coordinating the security team attached to the IGP's office and others. On the organized labor rift, members of the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC and the Trade Union Congress TUC mobilized their members for a protest at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The organized labor gathered at the airports to enforce their directive to member workers in the aviation sector to stop all flights to Owerri, the Imo State capital. Report says that the protest is part of a series of action that the 2 labor centers have instituted to zero in on Imo State. Following the alleged attack on an NLC President Joe Ajaro, the protesters blocked both the entry and exit ways of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. Recall that NLC and TUC had declared a nationwide strike which will commence on Tuesday, November 14th, also because of a face-off with the Imo State government. The protesters attempted to go into the airport but were stopped by the military at the checkpoint. As a result of the refusal, the protesters blocked the entry and exit point of the airport, causing heavy traffic of vehicles on both sides, thereby forcing travelers to make their way into the airport on foot. Back here, the draft recurrent and capital estimate for the 2024 budget of the state government, with the policy first of supporting the execution of the Arise agenda, has been adopted by the Akwa Ibom state government. The State Commissioner for Information, Comrade Inyememe Bongo, discloses while briefing newsmen shortly after the enlarged State Executive Council meeting, said for the 2024 draft budget estimate, which was presented by the State Commissioner for Finance, the total recurrent estimate is 352.7 billion naira, while capital estimate stands at 487.895 billion naira, bringing the total budget to 840.632 billion naira. On the Geographic Information System, Akwa Gigs, the Commissioner noted that the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on ICT, Dr. Frank Ekpeyong, had also presented the software applications to be deployed in the execution of Akwa Gigs, payment of bursary awards to undergraduates, and project monitoring and evaluation. He promised that the apps would help in the efficient administration of the various programs to which they will be applied, stressing that the governor therefore charged the SSA to ensure the technology is used to plug all loopholes of financial leakages within the government system. According to him, the state governor, Pastor Umo Eno, informed the ESCO that an additional 1 month basic salary will be paid to civil servants in December for their Christmas break, stressing that the governor also directed the Commissioner for Water Resources and Sanitation to ensure that water works within the Uyo metropolis and select rural areas are reactivated and made functional in the first phase of the drive to provide water across the state. He, however, noted that EXCO frowned at the illegal reopening of the company, the Chinese company Golden Tripod Company, which has been accused of undertaking operations that are hazardous to human health and inimical to the environment, noting that it was resolved that the facility be permanently closed down and an alternative land allocated to them at the industrial estate at Itam. Government House correspondent Jane Owa reports that the information boss also announced that ESCO directed that the State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs should strictly enforce the accent law of the State House of Assembly, which mandates all principal officers of local government areas to reside within their jurisdiction, adding that approval was given for emergency intervention at Afiansat village in Eket local government area to stop the erosion and reconstruct the destroyed portion of the road. In another development, the remains of a great matriarch, wife, sister, aunt, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, and patriarch, late Deaconess Grace Bain Assam of a Tebirumiwak Eket local government area, who passed on to glory on September 30th, age 100, will be committed to Mother Earth on Friday, November 10, 2023. The funeral ceremony, which is scheduled to hold in the Cenotaph Eket Township Stadium, Eket by 10 a.m., will be preceded by service of songs at the United Evangelical Church of Etebom Street, Etebirumiwak, Eket by 4 p.m. and will be rounded off with a Thanksgiving service on Sunday, November 12th. A statement by the chief mourner and son, Engineer Mike Andino, indicates that late Deaconess Grace Assam was a qualified midwife and nurse who served with commitment and dedication in various hospitals across Cross River and Akwa Ibom State until her retirement as a senior nursing sister in 1987. According to the statement, the late matriarch also engaged in philanthropic activities which impacted positively on the lives of the less privileged in her community. For instance, upon her retirement from the civil service, she set up a not-for-profit mini maternity clinic in her compound solely to support women who were not able to afford hospital bills for antenatal care and delivery. Late Deaconess Grace Assam is survived by one son, Engineer Michael Andino, two daughters, Madam Gertrude Assam, Mary Ekong, and a daughter-in-law, Rosaline Andino. Among a host of other relatives, the statement requests the presence of family members, friends, associates, and sympathizers at the burial ceremony holding in the Cenotaph Eket Township Stadium by 10 a.m. You're listening to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. Uyo, let's take a breather and then bring you more stories from our foreign sport and entertainment scenes. To stay with us.
Healthy living begins with the choices one makes. Choosing to live healthy is the first step to healthy living. Join us Sundays 1:30 to 2 p.m. for Healthway, awareness for healthy choices.
Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. On the foreign scene, the Israeli military says it has today reopened an evacuation corridor to allow civilians in northern Gaza, where much of the war is taking place, to move to the south. The Israel Defense Forces, which has been telling Gazans to do this for a week, says this will be the 5th consecutive day the Salah al-Din corridor is open. Avike Adrer, a military spokesperson for Arab media, said on that movement, though the main road running the length of Gaza would be permitted, report says about 50,000 people managed to evacuate the north through the road. United Nations humanitarian agency said this is the largest number in a single day since the corridor was opened. And sports, Nikola Jokic scored 35 points as the Denver Nuggets beat the Golden State Warriors 108-105 in a tight contest. The Warriors edged in front in the third quarter after trailing the most of a game in conference. Reggie Jackson scored 20 points and Michael Porter 17 for Denver, while Stephen Curry's 23 points led the scoring for 2022 champions Warriors. On the entertainment scene, popular media personality, video jockey, and actor Oladatun Ojolakwe Kayode, aka Due Tun, has lamented the growing trend of Nigerian artists and event organizers charging in foreign currency to perform in Nigeria. He said despite the artists and their genre being homegrown, they now place their booking fees in the United States dollars, including events in Nigeria. The reality star described the new development as quite strange and bizarre on his X handle. It's been the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo, but before we go, let's take a look at a recap of the major stories. President Bola Tinubu has stopped the implementation of a hike in electricity tariff and insisted that subsidy be paid on power consumed nationwide. The Senate has summoned the managing director of Nigerian gas marketing company Ezeala over gas sales purchase agreement, pricing in various companies, and non-compliance with due process in the auto-compressed natural gas project with NIPCO Gas. The draft recurrent and capital estimate for the 2024 budget of the state government, with the policy thrust of supporting the execution of the Arise agenda, has been adopted by the Akwa Ibom state government. On the foreign scene, we told you that the Israeli military says it has today reopened an evacuation corridor to allow civilians in northern Gaza, where much of the war is taking place, to move to the south. In sport, we reported that Nikola Jokic scored 35 points as the Denver Nuggets beat the Golden State Warriors 108-105 in a tight contest. For comments and coverage of a newsworthy event, call our newsroom on 0812-770-2940. Visit our website on planet101fm.ng and follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at planet_101fm, and also like us on Facebook at planet101fm Uyo. The news was edited by Xavier Robert. As we end the news, it is pertinent to note that kidnapping and hostage-taking is perhaps the most disturbing form of terror in Nigeria today. It is like dying anew every day for victims and their loved ones. We must discourage this trend at all costs by putting all hands on deck to ensure all Akwa Ibom Corps members abducted while on a journey to serve their fatherland are released. I am Rachel David White. Good afternoon.